Hello everyone and welcome to World of Warships Blitz with the Naval Legends. I'm sure you have heard the news by now, but if you haven't, the Atlântico is getting a nerf. Yes, in the update 6.2, there is a news that the Atlântico would be getting a big nerf. If you haven't watched the video, you can watch the same from Terry's YouTube channel, that is Fun and Games with Terry. He has a great video on it and he explains the processes and the nitty-gritties of how these changes will affect the ship and its gameplay. Here, I'm not giving any of my opinions. I still believe that Atlântico is overpowered, right? But the changes which are made will make it extremely underpowered and weak. So I have paid for this Blitz pass. I had paid for his Blitz pass, and there is nothing special that I really love about this ship except for the fact that it has really good secondaries. Other than that, this ship is just like any other ship which I got from the Blitz pass. So this ship stands at the same level of a Leipzig or the Shikishima. Probably the Shikishima, no, the Shinanomi, not Shikishima, I'm sorry. The Shinanomi is one of my favorite ships from the Blitz pass because of its extremely beautiful camo and the way she plays. So Atlântico is still not my favorite ship. Yet, I feel this is a good ship, and I hope that the changes which I am fearing would underpower the ship should not do it, and we will still have a good tier 8 ship to play with. Yeah. So this video is like a final adieu to the once broken ship, and let's see how she performs today, and we will have another follow-up video after the update drops and see what effects and changes we have had. So the Atlântico, let's read about its history before going deeper into the ship. So Atlântico was a project of battleship equipped with British-made 381mm main guns and American dual-purpose AA artillery. Right? It was planned to be made for Brazil. So it had the British guns, which you can see here, right? The British guns, they look really good, and there was plans of putting in the American AA, remnants of which you can see in the bow and the stern AA mounts, which is very common for later generations of American battleships and cruisers. So the ship has the secondary overload 3 skill, which increases the secondary gun reload speed and firing range by 30% for 25 seconds. And the speciality is that the ship has auto secondary guns. So basically this is a spec gun which is focused towards secondaries. So however upgraded and made the ship. So for my current build, the ship has a secondary gun specialization which reduces the reload time by 10% and the auto secondary reload time by 10%. So it is a more secondary spec gun. For camo, I've used a standard Easter Hunt camo. It was a good camo which was made by Wargaming this time, and I like the camo a lot. And this adds 3% to ship hit points and reduces the surface detection by 3%. You can choose the historical camouflage, but I don't have it. The historical camouflage adds 4% to ship hit points, 4% to main battery firing range, and reduces the maximum main battery shell dispersion by 4%, and the torpedo damage reduction is increased by 6%. So it's a decent enough camo, right? Great. So let's go over the consumables. I'll change them from normal to the advanced damage repair kit and advanced repair kit, and then the advanced damage control kit. For supplies, I have taken refined diesel to increase the ship's speed and traverse speed, preventative maintenance pack to increase the warship's hit point, and improved fuel rations to reduce the reload time. You can also go with high-grade coal to reduce surface detection, but it is a battleship, so there's no use reducing the surface detection. For equipments, I have taken secondary battery modification 1, which reduces the secondary battery reload time by 15%. And I have focused a bit on the air defense because it has decent air defense capabilities, so I have taken air defense modification 2, which increases the small caliber air damage by 10%. And finally, I have taken propulsion modification 2, which increases the ship's speed by 5%. For the first slot, I would not suggest taking any other skill because we have to focus on speccing the ship up for a secondary build. For the second slot, you can choose the damage control systems modification 1. That is a very good and decent choice. You can select the double steering, the steering gear modification 1 and modification 2 if you need, but I don't think it requires that. And even it's a battleship after all, so it doesn't need to be very maneuverable. Propulsion modification 1 is not the best choice. You can take dead protection modification 1 to reduce the risk of superstructure and fire damage by 20%, so that's a decent skill. I've taken the air defense modification 2, and the armament modification 2 is also a viable option. For the third slot, you can select any one of them, but the best here for me was propulsion modification. There is not much use of concealment system modification 1, but if you want, you can spec it. You can take steering gear modification 2, which complemented with steering gear modification 1, right, which will increase the traverse acceleration to 15%. You can take air defense modification 1 again in complement with the air defense modification 2 to increase the range of the AA, but I think this is not necessary. Now we can also choose torpedo defense modification 1 to increase the torpedo damage reduction, and armaments modification 1 to increase the survivability. But for me, this build is the best which I could think about, so hence it is it. And finally, for commanders, I have a 5 skill point commander. It's the special one which came with the ship, the Marcus de Lima. Here I've selected underwater protection expert as the first skill, armament repair expert as the second skill, artillery maintenance expert as the third skill, victorious charge as the fourth, and daredevil as the fifth. For future updates, for future skills, I possibly will take exploit weakness. That is a very good option to take for the 6th slot. Generalist is also a good option, but I would suggest to take exploit weakness. For 7, I would take fully prepared, right? Because I don't have a dogfight specialist, and I have no aircrafts, and nor I have precise aiming system, so I'll take fully prepared. Here you have the option to take the extinguisher, right? You can also take adrenaline rush. I would suggest I might go for adrenaline rush because extinguisher is not for me in the Atlântico. This seems like not the best option. It's a viable option, but not the best. The best would be adrenaline rush, which will actually make your last stand really scary. For 9, I would probably take close quarters combat expert, so it will reduce the maximum secondary battery shell dispersion and the automatic secondary battery cell dispersion. This is a very good skill for this ship. There are others as well, but demolition expert not the best choice, and of course there's no choice of taking engine overload at all. And for the tier 10, not tier 10, the slot 10, I might take compartment maintenance because the ship tends to take a lot of flooding, so you can take that. And with that, I can also say that you can take extinguisher, because as I told that it mightn't be viable, but the ship does take, it's very easy to put 3 fires on this ship, so putting extinguisher and compartment maintenance together would be a very good option. Yeah, you can there's no rapid reload, so I don't know if this is actually useful with the secondary overload skill, but yes, I would go for compartment maintenance. And for 11 and 12, for 11 I have to take APCS, I have to take APSC, armor piercing cap shell, because the main guns only fire AP shells, so it's better to take it to cause some severe damage. You can take the inertia fuse high explosive, but it reduces the fire chance, right? So it is a possibility that the fire chance might reduce. But let's not take that. You can choose it, but I would choose the APCS. And finally, I would take the horizontal protection expert to increase the horizontal protection of the ship, right? You can take Citadel Strike, right? But it's very hard to get Citadel. So if you have APCS, right, with that, if you take Citadel Strike, possibly you'll get real good damage. But for me, I would prefer to have horizontal protection expert. So that would be my possible build. So let's go for a match and see how we turn out. Right. Let's go for the match. For tier 8 we have only 4 ships. Let's see where we go. Yes, I hope you like the video. It's a 4x4v4. We are the Atlântico, King George V, Belfast and Benton versus Abington, Brooklyn, Nagato and Kansas. I hope you like the video, and if you do, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and also remember to share it with other players if you want to, of course, but it depends on if you enjoyed watching the match or the matches which I have uploaded. So what would be my plan? This ship is not the best against fire starters, and if you look at the team list, you will see that we have a Kansas, we have a Brooklyn, we have a Nagato, and we have a Benton. And Brooklyn is a very good fire starter. So we need to keep an eye out. We have to see which flank we can target. We will not directly go to the cap circle, that's the work of the destroyers, but if we need to, we can. So what we will do is that we will go near the cap circle and we will reduce our speed. We will stay in a range where we can actually cause some damage to the enemy, but also plan our attacks. Right, so I hope the Benson and Belfast enter and they can scout a bit for us so that we can with that said, I see a cruiser coming up. I'm not very sure which cruiser is this, but this cruiser is the Miyoko. It's a bot. We will focus on the bot at the moment because we don't have anything else to shoot. So let's see the power of the guns. It is turning, so I'll not shoot. I'll keep my guns under control, not shoot them. Now might be the possible time to shoot, but no, it's turning a lot. Yes, I'll shoot it now. Let's see what happens. And I set it on the first shell. That is interesting. That's a good salvo. I understand that people think it is an overpowered ship, right? Nagato takes the kill. The Miyoko is still there. We possibly will not get the kill of the Miyoko. The Brooklyn takes down our Benson. That is not a very good start to our game. The Miyoko also goes down to the Benson. Right, so okay, let's plan our attack. We'll go around. Since we have the cap, we can actually go around and we see how we can attack. If you see from behind, we have a cruiser coming in, so we'll turn around and see if we can cause some damage. We see a North Carolina bot again, so let's focus on the bots. Right, we see the Kansas there and the Nagato there, so you can see that keeping the guns keeping the guns silent would be a good option. So we will just try and go into the cap circle. Right, we can expect shells coming any moment. We fire on the North Carolina. Right, we let the automatic guns handle it. We have one Nagato here and one Kansas here. Right, so let's focus on the Nagato. It has weak tech armor, so let's see if we can penetrate its hull. Oh, we do some good damage. We do some really good damage. The Kansas is not the best because it is a bit angled. We have shells incoming from the Kansas, I'm sure. No, it isn't hitting at me, it's hitting at the destroyer. Okay, so let's focus on this one. Let's put some shells onto the North Carolina and a main salvo. Possibly we'll take the North Carolina with us. Yes, we took it with our fires. So we are equal at 3 battleships versus 2 battleships and a cruiser. So it's not the best state for both of us, but we are leading a bit. So we have to plan our attack. The Brooklyn can cause severe damage. And whom do we have? We have a King George V. So basically the Brooklyn can be taken care of by the King George V. And we have Nagato here, which is escaping, and Kansas. So we will put some fire on the Kansas, possibly see if we can put some fires on it. Yeah, we are just at the range of the secondaries, so we'll use the primary guns to cause some damage. That was real good damage on the Kansas. Keep an eye out. The Brooklyn is on the other side. Let's see if we can actually cause some issues. No, don't need to because we have the King George V, so it will handle it, and they have Nagato as well. So let's close the distance with the Kansas. See if we can. No, nothing. Just use the primary guns. So let's use the primary guns. Right, we can cause some severe damage. Oof, that was a good salvo. Another good salvo. We have the Nagato, which is not in the closest point. Let's see, it's just entering our secondary range, right? We'll not use secondaries now. We have the secondary overload skill, we'll be using it in a moment. We lost one of our battleships. That is not good. Negator saw me and is focusing on me now. It's focusing on me now. That's not a good start. Now it's time to use this secondary overload skill. Got some damage on this Nagato. Alright. Let's stack up some damage on this ship and see what we can do. Permafire is not set. Let's hope we can set a permafire till the time. Yes, we are doing substantial damage. We have 71,000 damage already. Let's see if we can take this Nagato with us. That was a beautiful salvo. Secondary, we have no fire. We have big caliber finally. Right. Let's take this. Let's see if we can actually do some damage with the ship. Yeah, let's take a close quarters expert as well. Yes, that was a great shot. We can't just salvo it onto us, but then we can do to focus on this. See if we can cause some severe damage to the Kansas. Yeah, I understand we are on fire. I need some help, sir. We might lose, we might die because these shells can actually cause severe damage. But let's see what we can do. Right, this is a very bad salvo. Oof, that hurt. But then it's time we should show who's boss. Super. Secondary overload skill activated. We will focus only on the secondaries now. We'll actually cause some issues with the Kansas. Set a fire possibly. The next salvo might actually kill us, so we will keep our eyes peeled. Take this ship out. Just go. We did die. With 8 seconds left, possibly we'll win it. We did win it. That was a great match. We did die, but 130,498 hit points damage. Now that is something. I just loved this ship. Perfect adieu to the ship, I guess. So we have 5,584 hit points damage, 255 free XP, 61,631 coins. We have a battle star, we have a big caliber, and we have close quarters expert. We have done 130,498 hit points damage. 2 ships were destroyed. We did die in the process. We got eliminated, but that's not an issue because we did win the match, and we showed why this ship is actually called overpowered, because this ship possibly is a bit overpowered. Battle details: we took 58,000 damage, so we nearly got 58,729 hit points damage, right? And we dished out 130,498 hit points damage, right? And if we calculate, we get that we have nearly done twice the amount of damage that we have received. That is a very, very good work, right? And if we calculate the percentage, you'll realize that we have nearly done 50,000 hit points damage with these secondaries, right? So how much have we done? It's like 49,419 divided by 130,498 gives us nearly 37.87% of damage done by secondaries. That's a lot of damage done by secondaries. 37%. That's a huge chunk, and that happens because the secondaries are real strong. And just look at it. We have done 49,414 hit points damage with secondary guns, and secondary guns have 213 secondary hits, right? So it's nearly 49,419 divided by 213. We have an average damage of 232 hit points. That is really good. That is really, really good. And for main battery, we have done 73,959 hit points damage. If we divide it by the number of hits, that is 86, we get that we have 859 hit points damage per salvo. Let's compare it, right, to the damage number which we know from the ship. So let's, what I'll do is Yes, so let's save this, right? I'll just save it, right? Great. Yes, yes. So that's all from the video. We did do real good damage, right? 86 hit point damage, 213 secondary battery hits, 1 citadel, 2 ships destroyed, 5 fires, and destroyed 2 modules. Along with that, we have 1 captured flag, we have 3 assist flags, 3 capture struggle flags, 4 capture assist flags, and 4 taking fire flags. That was a good match. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching Naval Legends. Keep watching Naval Legends. We will be bringing World of Warship Blitz contents every single day. 2 shorts a day and 3 long videos a week. Keep watching for more content. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Naval Legends signing off. Thank you.